Okay, so here we're on the other side of Shoreline, on this side here, and once again you can see this battle is beginning to start where the yellow rattle's coming in and beginning to outcompete the grasses. So on this side the meadow isn't as successful, so you can see that the cocksfoot is really taking over and it is dominating and not allowing any light into the meadow. This small area here is beginning to function, and the reason is the yellow rattle is keeping the grasses down. But over time this will change. Over time this is going to travel up through here. This is probably initially the more successful site for the meadow because there was already a really nice angle on the bank. It was much drier, and so you got different types of fertility happening. You can really see the carder bees here, all hard at work, and white-tailed bumblebee feeding on the yellow rattle. And that's going to create a lot of seed which can be cast in local gardens, and it can also be cast in further cast here. So people should come down and grab some of the seed and put it in their garden. This is speedwell here, this beautiful blue flower is speedwell, and based on the stem it's got a kind of brown woody stem. That's German speedwell. Clover. It's a beautiful blue flower, native to Ireland once again. On this site you'll see a lot of hawkbit, and this is one of my favourite parts here. See every Scots pine, right? We've got our pear and our apple trees that were planted working with TidyTowns here. And in this particular location here, you can see the yellow rattle is really taking hold. This is the one location where we have an orchid. So I'm going to go down here, and each year I come to visit my little baby orchid here, and we just move our grass aside, and there it is. This is the only orchid on the whole site. I didn't plant this, nature planted this. So it was lying dormant in the area, you know, ever since this was the place was built. Probably the land was farmed for 50 years before that, and none of the orchids were allowed to grow. So this was a seed sitting there for probably up to 100 years. And you can see the head just about to, there's the bud head there beginning to form, and I should put a little string around it again this year. So happy about that. You know, things like that, they're a real joy for me to see these beautiful flowers coming back just when we give nature a chance. There it is there, and you would never know. So if I go back from there, zoom out again, you would never even know that was there. So, you know, all I can say for people who are interested in taking a journey like this with nature, it's very sad, but it's also very rewarding, because you realize how bad the situation is in Ireland. Like, we are one of the most destitute countries in the world for nature. We've really destroyed it, both through our farming policies, our land use policies in the uplands, midlands and lowlands. Like, name one forest for me in an upland. Name one forest, because there isn't one. We've given all our hills over to sheep farming. And remember, this is commonage. Commonage is owned by all the people. It's not just the farmers in the area. So we need to review that law, and we need to change land use policy within our uplands that 25% needs to be returned to nature. Now, the farmers who traditionally farm that can be paid a stipend to manage them, but it's only for nature. There's no sheep, there's no goats, deer has to be managed. But what we're looking at in this particular project is that all common areas around existing council buildings, so schools, government buildings, schools, industrial complexes, libraries, anything that we own as a state needs to have in it high nature restoration. You're not allowed to just have grass. You're not allowed to have non-native species. There must be only native stock going in, and meadows need to be brought back en masse.